Hello, thanks everybody for joining. This is going to be the Patton Element Management System webinar. It's powered by Xeros. So today you're going to hear from Marcus Zeyer. He's our training and knowledge base manager and also one of our field application engineers. So he wears a lot of different hats. He'll be presenting for the most part today. You'll get to hear from a couple guys from Xeros as well. And then, as usual, you'll hear from Ramon Felder, who's our executive product manager for the SmartNode product line. The webinar today will be about 40 minutes, 30 minutes or so of presentation, live demo, and Marcus will give you a little more insight into the agenda. And then at the end, there will be about a 10-minute question and answer session. With that said, if you do have any questions, please go into the GoToWebinar question interface, enter your question there, and then we'll be able to look at that and bring it up at the end of the session here today. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and pass it off to Marcus Zeyer to get us started.
Thank you, Tyler. Also welcome from my side. My name is Marcus Zeyer. I'm working at Patton headquarters for Western Europe in Switzerland. And as already mentioned, my main tasks at Patton are the training and knowledge management and the field application engineering. Within this position, field application engineering, I took over the project lead to develop a Patton element management system, which I like to show you within the next couple of minutes. If you have any questions, please type them in. We will answer them at the end of the presentation. Good. Yeah, let's talk about SmartNode device management. So the topics of this presentation will be the today SmartNode 1K management interfaces, following by an introduction into the solution, together with a process integration example. Then we're going ahead with some more features and functions, the business case, and we will talk about our partner Xeros. Following to this presentation, we show you a small live demo where you can see how it looks and feel, and at the end we like to answer all your questions. Good. What are the today standard management protocols supported by the SmartNode? We have a HTTP server with a web GUI, with a graphical user interface for the configuration from local or also from remote. Further, we have the CLI command line interface, which is accessible through SSH and Telnet, also here for local and remote configuration, but also for monitoring and protocol tracing. And then firmware and configuration up and download using TFTP and HTTP, and for performance monitoring we provide as well an SNMP interface. Syslog for tracing and status information, mostly used during calls. Then the radius for authentication and accounting, and last but not least, the auto provisioning, which already provides you today an automated deployment for SmartNodes. The third-party integration, what are we providing there? So today we are providing a customer-specified factory configuration, also many times call it special queue. So the SmartNode can be ordered with your customized factory configuration and to be prepared for integration in your network. Then we can make any timer-triggered update checks through SNMP, and using the same protocol we can start with configuration and firmware downloads. Further, we have our redirection server service where the smart node asks for a provisioning server in your network at a server here at Patton. So that's the systems which already are available. So what's missing today is a management system. So we have only the interfaces provided to connect to an existing management system. So now we are going a step ahead. We are going a step ahead and provide you a complete management system. This management system is also available in a reduced form. This management system is also available as a TR-069 proxy server. Using the Patton element management system, we can access to it through any OSS BSS system on the northbound side, and southbound side we are going with the well-known existing protocols. The same for the TR-069 proxy server. Southbound we are using our existing protocols like SNMP, HTTP, Telnet, SSH, whatever else. Northbound we going with TR-069 to an existing TR-069 ACS. So with this solution, the smart node is able to be managed through TR-069. But now going back to the Patton element management system as a full version, with this third-party OSS BSS optional, you can use also any kind of web client to have direct access to the system. So how looks that today? First of all, we have a subscription on the OSS BSS interface when it is available by the customer. Sometime the operator uses it. So those data will be recorded in the database of the OSS BSS system, which then provides the account data which are important for the smart node in your service to the ACS, to the auto configuration server, which is the Patton element management system. The smart node will deliver to the customer, and with this delivery, the smart node serial number or MAC address will also be delivered to the ACS. Those parts together will provide then a smart node profile, which is stored in the ACS database. Optional, the account data for the SIP users can also be added through the web GUI of the ACS or of the Patton element management itself. If the smart node is connected to the system, it connects through the well-known interfaces to this configuration system, and it gets a full complete configuration for the service. So the customer has not to touch anything in the configuration. Plug and play will be enough. What are the features which we are supporting in this provisioning system? So first of all, provisioning and administration, auto provisioning capability, reduce the rollout costs because it makes the full procedure more efficient. The backup and the restore of configuration, which can be used for data security and failure recovery. So when, for example, a smart node needs to be exchanged at the customer side, it will be the new one will be configured automatically again with the same data as they have before. Then we can make campaigns. So that means we can schedule, for example, mass upgrades, which simplifies also here the management of the firmware releases in the field. So every gateway can be single or grouped be upgraded. Then we have a network specified configuration templates together with the parameters which are entered through the OSS BSS or the web interface that also reduces the installation time. At the end, we like to reach a zero-touch installation, and that we can provide with the special factory configuration or the special SKU, also call it, and together with together with the Patton redirection server. So then everything goes seamless, and the customer gets the service within minutes. Monitoring is one of an important topic. So you can display the status of multiple smart node access from a central or several remote locations. That means we can also have customer logins to this ACS, not only operators or administrator access, also the customer can get informations through this web interface. For example, he likes to know the IP address range of a DHCP server. And a graphical representation of the key operational indicators provides you with a class of status information for each smart node. So what means that? So that means everything can be displayed in a way that it is not written. So we can show graphs. We can also show states using a lamp, a green, a yellow, or a red lamp, whatever you like. Then the fault management increases the quality of experience. So together with the above two features, we can really start to have a fault management and to be proactive by taking statistics of number of calls, of number of packet loss, of number of jitter, and so on. The third part is the configuration. So it supports real-time configuration of the smart node CPE, so you can enter direct parameters into the web GUI of the management system and start any kind of workflow for activate those configuration changes. Because only a couple of parameters which needs to be changed in your network, we can reduce the complexity of the configuration of the device configuration. So looking today on the today's smart nodes web GUI, we have many parameters which may where maybe 80–90% are fixed, so they doesn't need to be changed at no time later. However, there are a couple of parameters which needs regular change. So show only this couple of parameters for these regular changes, and so that everybody who gets a small introduction knows how to configure the smart node. Also here we can schedule campaigns for configuration change. Also here that is an huge productivity enhancement, e.g. if you like to change any DNS server. Then we have this already mentioned graphical user interface, the GUI, with a complete set of monitoring, provisioning, configurations, and administration functions. So all those features that I have shown before are accessible through this web GUI. Then data interfaces are also important. So the SmartNode, the Patton EMS provides you a standard SQL database interface with JSON or XML or whatever you like, so we can connect northbound to any OSS BSS system. Also TR069 as a protocol with SOAP is a northbound option for an existing ACS integration. On the southbound side, also towards the CPEs, we are supporting HTTP, SSS, and SNMP, and with those protocols we can provide a secure and stable southbound connection. Scaling, also something very important. The SmartNode, the Patton EMS is available for every network size, and it can be local installed, or it's also available as a hosted service. The size is from a few dozen, so we have a very small system in our offering, and it can go up to 100,000 and more managed device. The Patton EMS can be enhanced, and that is also a USP from our side. So the Patton EMS can be enhanced to manage any kind of third-party devices. So if you like to introduce also a modem from a third-party vendor or some other telephone from a third-party vendor, take that into this platform and manage this device as well with the same EMS. Also an extension which is related to the above wallet is extend the Patton with an end-to-end workflows, also this workflows which can be started, and together with this workflow the Patton element management system can really build into a service management system for your customer. The feature set, what can be supported or what is supported, but that's not only the only things. So there are many more, but looking at the Patton element management system on the top, we have the three topic: monitoring, administration, and configuration, where we then have the different kind of options that can be read or changed or administrated. I do not go or do not read now every of them, but let me say that, for example, the data settings, read out IP address and change IP address, or that we will see in the live demo, read the zip settings and add some zip settings like a user. So that is for configuration, administration, firmware upload, factory reset, config management, and reboot. That's are the usual. So where are we with the business case and the SKUs, also the order numbers? So on the left side we see the Patton EMS that can be ordered as a large version, as a medium, and as a small version, and it is always splitted into two. So we have the investment costs, which which are a one-time payment, and then we have a license, and a license and maintenance fee which needs to be charged every year. Also, this license will be available for large, medium, and small system. Checking what are the costs against the CPE investments. So I calculated this cost calculation with an average price of smart notes of $380, and that is I think a good price. It's somewhere in the middle between analog FXS gateways and the S0 BRI gateways. If we're checking that in the big deployment, so with a 5,000 device license, we are coming over 3 years of to 11.2% of your CPE investments. On a 1,000 device license, we're going a bit higher with about 13%, and it goes higher if you have only 100 devices connected. For sure, that will be on the upper level, but it is at the end of the day the same features, that it doesn't matter whether you are connecting 5,000 or only 100 devices. As well, the relative costs will decreasing by having more expensive smart nodes connected, saying, for example, the new 4660, 70 series smart nodes, or also the 4900 PRI gateways. So there we are decreasing rapidly with the relative price. Here we have the cloud-based Patton EMS, so that is a service which you are providing for you. So we will operate the Patton EMS at Patton, and you will get a mandate for this system. We see also here the relative price is more or less the same as in the local installed system. The difference is we have some less capex, so the investment costs are lower against bigger maintenance and subscriptions fee. The TR069 proxy, which is really reduced to proxying native command flow to TR069, so no graphical interfaces, and no functionality which are accessible through the web, is for sure a bit cheaper. So here we are talking about 3.2% up to 15% in the average with a $380 box. Calculations. So how looks that in your real business? If we have a technician which has a 1 hour trip to the customer for connecting a smart node and configure it, then we are talking about about $80. I know and I'm aware that it is in some countries of this world a bit cheaper. There are other countries where this is more expensive. However, checking now what that means, if we have a 1,000 device deployment per year, so we would lead into $80,000 installation costs. Looking at the total cost of ownerships for 1 year and for 3 years, then we can see that we can save in 1 year $43,200. Over 3 years, we save $31,000, and that is quite an amount where such an investment would make sense. Then we have the 100 device development. We have the 100 device deployment per year, so we're talking about $8,000. Also here we can already start save money at this deployment. Good. So our partner Axiros, I would like to introduce here Alfeo from Axiros itself. I think he could the best way to introduce his company. Alfeo, can you take over?
Yeah, thank you, Marcus, and thank everybody for attending this webinar. My name is Alfeo Pareschi, and I'm in charge of technical sales for Axiros. I'm pleased that Axiros has been established in this cooperation with Patton for the area where we have established our presence in the market, which is the management system, the element management system. Our company is in the market since year 2002, and we have been dedicating our effort only on open device management. This is also one of the reasons why we were able to integrate on the Patton Smart Node using a variety of different protocols for management and assurance and support. The company is 100% management owned and self-financed and operated, which means that we are free from conditioning from, let me say, external factors, equity firms or strategic direction. Everything is coming from the market, and so we are fully committed to customer satisfaction. We are currently a market leader in Europe for the ACS solution. Based on the number of provision devices, we operate obviously on the consumer market, but as our relationship with Patton has demonstrated, we are starting to operate in the business market as well. As of now, we are considered to be a technology leader in our market for the flexibility of our solution and how it can scale on different areas, scale by number of devices, scale by number of protocols, and also scale by the type of interaction that we support. As a matter of fact, Axiros is probably the only auto-configuration solution in the market that is completely identical, single platform for all type of access network, fixed and mobile. We are currently implementation over the DSL, over fiber, over Metro Ethernet, over cable network with DOCSIS, over wireless with WiMAX, and also 3G and 4G wireless devices. Our customers traditionally are the carriers, the telco companies, but also we are extending our presence in the enterprise segment with a focused attention on the utility side. And the company itself is headquartered in Munich, in Germany, with the sales and service offices out of Milano, where the sales organization is based out, Zurich, São Paulo, New York, and quickly opening in Asia Pacific.
Cool.
All right. Very good. Before, maybe Marcus, before we start with the live demonstration of the system, let me add a few words there. Thanks, Alfeo, for that introduction. I think one very important thing for everybody to understand is that with the Patton EMS, you are getting access to an open system, as Alfeo already mentioned. So this is not a proprietary Patton EMS system which only supports a single vendor, only supports SmartNode, but you are actually getting access to an open system with all the related benefits. So it scales better, it allows you to integrate third-party devices, it allows you to do end-to-end configurations, so you can really grow this from just managing SmartNodes to managing much more. And our partnership with Xerox, where we have a lot of joint customers already, has further benefits in that direction. Many of our existing customers already use Xerox systems and are able now to include the Patton device management into their existing systems, and the other way around. We've always been committed to open management integration. That's what all our current customers are doing, and we've done everything on the CPE side. And with this partnership now, we are also able to provide the central EMS system. I think the key thing is really total cost of ownership, as Marcus already mentioned. We have a very good reputation to provide a good total cost of ownership if you take into account the quality of the service that you're providing to the customer, the quality of the fax calls, the quality of the voice calls, the reliability, so minimum number of on-site interventions, minimum number of replacements, etc. Now with the EMS, we can further improve on the total cost of ownership by reducing costs on the rollout, on the operation and maintenance side. That's the key aspects, and we're really looking forward to many of you starting to try and use this system and getting convinced about the benefit it can bring you. Okay, good. With that, back to Marcus. Let's see what it looks like.
Okay, thank you, Ramon, for those words. Yeah, let's have a look on the system itself within the live demo. So I'm already logged in. There is no login screen for putting to type in the username and password. So then we are coming into the main windows where we can see the installed base of SmartNodes. So right now here in our scenario we have a number of 6 SmartNodes which have been in a different manner been contacted. So here you can see when somebody has last time connected to this gateway. Further here we have the software releases which can be checked on this direct on this Windows. Going once into the details of this device, we have as first an cockpit where we have now in this version here the device version information such as you know it also out of the SmartNode. So the look and like is always the same. We can also have graphs that shows here, for example, the CPU load over the historic time and as well the board temperature. Here we will also add some graphs for call stats. They are not done yet, but that is not a real issue. Then we have, for example, here the VoIP registrations. So we see that this gateway doesn't have any registration right now, but we can here also see what number of calls are going out of this box. So we see we do not have any registration, so there the call stat is at 0. ISDN interface configuration, here we like to put in lamps as well in, such as we have already here above for the VoIP status and the DHCP server status. Also everything can be graphical displayed. Then WAN summary we have here. So we have here the port Ethernet 00 on this box. The scenario can be found as a rollover picture in the smart node, where we can see the scenario of the customers like within a picture. Then we have the IP interface and the IP route information. And if, for example, it's available, we can also show the ACL on the also the access control list on the WAN interface. Then LAN interface here on that example, we have also an Ethernet port. We have the second Ethernet port, the 01, with a different LAN address or IP address, and here we have now running a DHCP server which have already 2 expired leases in it. As well, the DNS can be shown, the DNS client, the DNS relay, if you have any name resolution problems. You see these tabs are made it in that way. What is important to understand is that first these tabs can be called as you like to get them called, so you don't need to call them WAN, LAN or something else. That is up on you. Furthermore, you can also add tabs here with different windows, and you can display the different information in different ways. Also, log printing is possible. So here we get the log error, and you see the smart node tries to get a file which is not available. So we get this config failed error out. Reset clock, we can check when the smart node has been restarted and what have been the reason. What is interesting as well is the terminal windows. So you can have a direct access to the terminal windows and type in here direct commands like show version, and you will see here is the coming out the printout as you have seen before in the device overview tab. Then we have license here. Here we can see what kind of license are active on this gateway. So on this smart node we have the IP routing license available. In the configuration management, you can back up the configuration and restore the configuration in a way of a file, but also in a way of parameters within the smart node profile of the database. You can also include any web pages. Here in our example we have now introduced the Patton knowledge base, where you get any kind of question answered about our products. You see you can here surf around such as you know that from our home page. Another home page from our site. Voila. Then important are the workflows. The workflows are used in configuration scenarios mostly. So at the end of the day, everything is a workflow. So every request is a workflow. However, we're talking about workflows when we generate an action. So here we have a couple of workflows available already. So for example, the backup of the configuration, or also the configuration of the voice. This configuration of the voice or the VoIP itself, you can see also that here in the device overview tab. So if somebody asks for adding a new server on this device, then we're clicking on this provisioning voice product, and here we can set up a zip server. So I say here, for example, zip.patton.com. Then I will put in a identity, for example Marcus, No, that's not good, sorry, phone number. I like more a phone number, 548, and then the username is Marcus. The password will let be, and the phone number would be 00413198525548, and then start this scenario. So now the all those data will be integrated into the smart node configuration, into the existing smart node configuration, and when it has been written down, it is directly visible in the GUI. So let me wait here until the information received appears again, make a quick reload, and if you go into the VoIP registrations, then now we should be able to see it. Voila. Or not, what's happened? No, here it is. Here we have the zip provider, zip.patton.com. That provider doesn't exist, so therefore it cannot register. It is still in the state of registering. So, but here you can see our account, which we have opened right now. A management interface allows you also to do a lot by yourself. So if you are aware about PHP and XML and all those languages, you can really start to build up or to enhance your management system by yourself. Also, that is an open platform. Therefore, we have, for example, this support portal where we then can configure, and here we have then, for example, the Patton configuration file. Here you see everything is transparent, everything is accessible for doing your own configurations. Well, I could make here a 2-hour, 3-hour presentation on this system with all its functions and possibilities. I more than like to show you that also a bit more detailed, focusing also to your requests and to your requirements. Yes, that have been the management system live demo. I have to find my presentation again. So you see Patton Element Management System brings you a flexibility and power of smart node native command flow into the existing management processes. Okay, thanks a lot for joining this webinar. We like now to answer your questions.
Yeah, thanks, Marcus. Here's a couple questions for you. First is, will the SmartNode 10K be supported with the element management system?
Not in this first version. So this first version is only for SmartNode 1K product. So that means all the 4100, also the 45, 46, and 4900 smart nodes. It will be extended on an evolution step, also for the new platform Trinity, which will coming soon.
I think it's also important to note there that the main purpose of the element management system is really to streamline certain volume deployments or repetitive actions which are always very similar. And the 10K products being on the higher end are typically installed in much smaller volumes, and therefore that will be done on a second step on our roadmap.
All right. Cool. Another question is, will you be recording this webinar? The answer is yes, and we'll send out a link to the webinar posted on our webpage. within the next few days following this webinar. So if you're signed up here, you'll get a follow-up email with the recording. The next question is, can you compare config versions?
Oh, sorry, can you repeat? Can you compare?
Can you compare config versions?
Yeah, that's as possible for version configuration version update checks.
Okay. All right, next question is, can we group gateways with site, customer, location, etc.?
Mm-hmm. You can also start campaigns. That is coming into the range of campaigns. So a campaign can include two or more gateways. So depending what you like to do is you can group them together and monitor them also together.
Okay. Next question is there any dashboard with overall status or summary of some values?
Mm-hmm. Also this dashboard is what we have today. We're still working on this demo version. It's not completely finished yet. This device overview should be at the end of the day placed with more graphs like the graphs which are requested by the customer. There we have to understand that every customers like to see different graphs. So whatever I show here on the screen will not be the right thing for everybody. And so every graph which is provided by the managed CPE can be displayed here on this dashboard, on this device overview, whatever we call that windows here.
Mm-hmm. One comment there as well. Marcus showed the pricing SKUs. So there's an initial buy price for the system, and that buy price includes a certain amount of time which is dedicated for customization and training. So every customer will have the opportunity to customize the display as he sees it, and will get an introduction on how to use the system and make some adjustments on his own.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. The next question is, can we check if the current gateway is running an up-to-date version of smartware?
Mm-hmm. That is exactly what you see right now here. That is the running version. So now you can compare that over the version control within the tool, but it is right now here displayed, and it is also displayed on already the first page. If you're going back here, then we see here the different versions of smart nodes which are running now in this network. Okay.
All right. Next question is there a demo version for partners?
The demo version for partners which can be locally installed is not available and is also not foreseen. What we provide is a guest account on this system here, which can be used for any kind of demo of customer demos or test trials. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Good.
Next question is, if a carrier is already on Xeros, does the licensing model change?
That's, I think, something for Alfeo. Alfeo. Are you still here?
You might be on mute. Orfeo?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. And to be honest, I'll have to take this back to the headquarters. I will provide an answer to you so you can distribute this.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any Any other comments here? It looks like we're at the end of the questions. Anybody on our end?
Good. No,
Good.
well, maybe just to wrap up. So we're about to launch this product, so there will be supporting information, data sheets, etc., and announcements coming out. As Marcus mentioned, we have the possibility to look at and demonstrate the system online. And then we are looking forward to pilot deployments, customer trials, etc. From the interest in this webinar today and in various discussions we've had recently, we are convinced that this will be a very good value add to our customers and the networks that they are operating. All right.
All right. Okay, so thanks a lot once again for joining this webinar from my side also. And yeah, Tyler.
Thanks again, everybody, and I'll be sending a follow-up email again with the recording of this webinar and any webinars coming up in the next month, and then hopefully maybe that data sheet on the Patton Element Management System. So thanks again for joining, and looking forward to talking to you guys soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.